We're going to wait a couple of seconds for others to log on.
Okay. How do I turn it a bit louder? I can't hear terribly well, Emilia, so I'm going to adjust the sound.
Okay.
Okay, got it. How's that?
So let's give it a couple of seconds, Bernie, for more people to join us. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our conversation today. We will be starting in a couple of seconds. Let's just give some more of you time to log on. Okay, it looks like people are logging in. So hello, everyone. I'm Emilio Pimentel Reid, author of new book, Bold British Design, one of the co-founders at Interiors Academy. Today, we are thrilled to be in conversation with designer and CEO Bernie de Le Cuona. Her British textile collection, De Le Cuona, is known for sophisticated, innovative, and I will add soft, floppy, and fabulous textured linen fabrics. This summer sees the launch of Pure, a collection for those who are pursuing wellness and looking to invest in a healthy home. The 100% organic linen range is certified to GOTS, which means that it's organic from field to finished product and designed without compromise on the beauty and the handle of the fabrics, as you would expect from De La Cuona. Hello, Bernie. Welcome.
Hi, Amelia. I think you've said everything for me already.
I hope no. We still have an interview to go, but to begin, Bernie, could you tell us, how did De La Cuona get started as a brand?
Well, I come from South Africa and I found myself in England, and very shortly after that, I went on a long trip to India. And when I got to India, I was so taken by the extraordinary architecture, the buildings, the colors, the fabrics, and the craftspeople. And when I was there, I thought, I'm quite sure that I could produce something really unique myself and show it to interior designers in England so that they could create these unique interiors. And that's really a very condensed story of how De La Cuona got started.
And what makes, in your view, De La Cuona unique in your segment of the market?
Well, nowadays we have a very extensive collection of linen fabrics, natural linen fabrics, anything from a very lightweight all the way through to a very heavy upholstery. And we use all kinds of different techniques to get there. We also have a paisley collection, and the paisley collection is so delicate and so intricate. It has 12 different colors in each fabric, in each design, that we can only produce 3.5 meters per day on any loom. So then we add to that, we add a sumptuous velvet collection and some couture fabrics, and all the colors and designs work seamlessly together. But I promise you, Amelia, next time you come and visit me, I'll show you a standard linen and I'll show you our linen, and you'll be able to see the difference for yourself.
Well, because obviously it's very important to touch the fabrics and feel them. And Bernie, what is your working process when you're creating a textile collection with longevity? Also, how important is quality?
In the 1800s, when people used to produce a fabric, pardon me, they did it with so much love and care and concern about using the best fibers. They were making a product to last a lifetime. And that's how I try to approach making our fabrics. We work generally with very small family mills. Very often they've been handed down from generation to generation. So along with that comes these little secrets. So we're able to use those little secrets to produce different sort of textures or colorations or weaves So, you know, that's how we approach it. And of course, then we also use the very, very best fibers we can get. We don't stint on the quality of the product right from the beginning.
And I think you said that very, very well, because textiles were very precious things, and they, you know, and you would reuse them. So you may turn a curtain into something else, or part of a dress into something else, and that showed that the material, you know, was long lasting.
Absolutely. My bedroom curtains are about to become a tablecloth and an armchair. So, yes, definitely. I think that's what should happen to fabrics.
And Bernie, what is the little secret behind your color palette? Because you have a very specific palette at Della Cuona. What inspires it?
Thanks, Amelia. You know, I don't use the typical Pantone colors at all, ever. We create
Oh.
our own colors. So I can be inspired by a color. For example, recently we were climbing a mountain in Iceland and we saw a ptarmigan, a particular bird, and the depth of creamy white color. I had to try and keep it in my mind and photograph it on my phone and come back and try to create that color. Or I can be walking in the bush in Africa, and I can see a piece of wood or a stone or something like that, that I will think that's going to be a fabulous color to work with. Or, you know, recently we were walking in the bush and there were a troop of monkeys that had been eating a certain kind of fruit, and they threw the husks on the ground. But when they opened, this amazing pink color was inside. So I took that color and now we have a velvet in that color. So that's really how we go about developing our color palettes.
What an what an excellent story. I have never heard of monkeys being part of a story in fabric development.
And I do drive the mills crazy when I come back with these little bits of wood and husks of things. But we end up with a really unique color palette, which is unique to us.
Mhm.
And therefore, it allows everything in our collection to work seamlessly together.
And Bernie, what shifts do you see happening in the way that we use our homes, the way that we live and we use our homes? And also, how is wellness and a healthy home becoming more important?
You know, I think for a few years now, our homes have been becoming more important to us. But I think now, particularly with this virus, a lot of people have had to work from home. And I think they will continue to work from home. I think that's going to be the norm going forward. So homes are going to become so important to us. And I think what we bring into our homes is going to be important, from whether it's food, you know, if we're looking at organic food, or if we're looking at beauty products, we want to know what's in them, or chemicals that we clean our homes with. And that goes for furniture and for fabrics as well. You know, and on that point, I discovered that in the production of fabrics, for example, in dye stuffs, they still do use lead, and they use formaldehyde in the production of fabrics as well. And all of these things, you imagine you're in your bedroom and you're surrounded by all these fabrics for 8 hours a day, if you're lucky, or 8 hours a night.
Mhm.
And these chemicals are emitted, the toxins are emitted from the fabrics, and you can breathe them in. So that, and of course, that's not good for you, and especially for your children or for babies. So that really started me on a whole journey about wellness and what comes next in the wellness industry for fabrics.
And so that leads us to what comes next for Della Cuona. Tell us about how you tell us about the wellness element of your new collection, Pure.
Well, it's been quite a long journey. Since I learned about what goes into the production of fabrics, I've wanted to produce a 100% organic fabric collection. And there are no interior fabric collections which are 100% organic on the market. So the first thing I had to do was find a variety of mills who were prepared to work with me. And then I had to get the fiber. But you know, fashion is now talking about having an organic t-shirt or organic whatever. And that's the label is quite confusing because even if there's 5% organic fiber, they can sometimes have a label saying an organic t-shirt, but it can only have 5% in it. But regardless, the fashion industry has jumped on the bandwagon of organic. So there's not a lot of fiber available. So first of all, you have to find the fiber and you have to reserve the fiber, because in order to get organic linen fiber, the fields have to be absolutely fallow for at least 3 years. So the farmer can't do anything with his fields, so that the chemicals can wash away that are in the soil that we use with pesticides. So first of all, you get the fibers, and then you have to find the mill that's prepared to work with you. And then each of these mills need a certain certification. Now, the best certification to have is called GOTS, which is Global Organic Textile Standard. And to be certified to GOTS standards is really difficult. So we as a company had to become certified. And in the production of fabric, there's could be 4, 5, 6 different steps, and everybody along the way needs the certification. So it's a very special product. And what was important for me was to be able to produce an organic fabric, but not something that looked really raw or felt really harsh. I wanted it to be elegant, full of design and full of color. It's subtle color, but it is full of color.
Yeah.
So it's been a long process. I've been driving the mills completely mad, but we're about to launch.
Yeah.
So we're going to launch our collection of Pure. It's called Pure at the end of August.
And can you give us, you know, you're launching soon. Can you give us at least a little hint of the colors and the textures that we should expect?
Well, there's a variety of textures. There are some plain linens, as you'd expect, but there's a whole variety of textures, and there's a variety of designs. I think, again, Amelia, you'll have to come and visit me and I'll show you what they look like, but they are elegant. They are elegant and they're subtly colored, and it's anything, as I say, from curtaining to heavy-duty upholstery.
And Bernie, what a challenge it must have been to you know, because I imagine you had to reinvent the way that you create your fabrics to get the results that appeal to the level of the market that you're accustomed to be working in. So that's quite an achievement that you're now here ready to launch a collection.
Yes, I'm actually really excited about it because it is a big innovation and it has taken a lot of hard work and dedication from the mills. Yes,
Mhm.
it's a whole new segment and sector, but I'm really looking forward to launching, and it should be fabulous when we launch.
Bernie, this, you know, this is the future of fabrics, I feel, and many watching as well. What changes should our industry be making in response to the challenges that we're facing now? Obviously, looking at our production processes is important, but what changes do you see the industry making going forward, or would you like to see the industry making?
Going forward, our industry is fabulous, but there are a lot of things I'll say. I think that the future is going to be organic fabric. I think that other fabric companies will follow on and include a wellness collection within their textile ranges. I'm quite sure that's going to happen. I think it's going to become like, you know, you have a contract collection, you have an outdoor collection. I believe we're now going to have a wellness collection. You know, there's not a lot of this fabric available because you have to buy the yarn a couple of seasons ahead. And if you run out of the yarn, so it's a difficult balance that we have at the moment, but we have bought a lot of yarn. And I think um, companies are all going to include this wellness collection into their ranges. I think we're a very old-fashioned industry. As fabulous as we are, I think we're quite old-fashioned. And I think during this lockdown period, at least we've started to use technology. And I hope that everybody
Yes.
continues using technology. I think even in the production of our fabrics, you know, it takes such a long time to load a warp onto a beam, which then goes hand done and it goes onto the weaving mill. So I think all these kind of things have to be looked at and could be speeded up, you know, because it takes such a long time to put a warp on a beam. The mills insist that you have minimums. By having minimums of products, so much product is wasted. You know, a lot of
Yes.
product every year is wasted. So I think our industry needs to start to produce less product, but of a higher quality. Because we follow the demands made on the industry.
Yeah.
And there's such a demand, you have to launch twice a year at the same time as the exhibitions are. And people expect you to be launching quite comprehensive collections. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think we should produce products and launch them when they're ready. So they're constantly going to be launched. And I think we should produce crafted, beautiful crafted products of a really high quality, not just quantity. I think it should be quality going forward.
I mean, yes, I completely agree, and I know that on hearing this, many who are watching will agree as well. Especially if we design fabrics that are timeless; they're not seasonally specific. You know, these are things that you could always have in your home.
Mm.
I want to mention that I always think of you as a very innovative brand. I remember when you launched your outdoor collection, it was the first time that I saw outdoor fabrics that actually felt luxurious and that I would have,
Oh, thank
you know,
you.
put indoors anywhere in the home. So it's great to see Della Cuona leading in that way.
Thank
You
you.
also have an accessory collection that is growing. How has that evolved?
Well, you know, when I very first started, I couldn't arrive to see a customer with a little roll of fabric over my shoulder. So I actually made all these fabrics, which I produced, into cushions. So I started with cushions, and cushions are still an important part of the company. So we do cushions,
Oh,
we
I
do
didn't know.
pillows. Yeah, we do bed covers and tabletop. And what we find is that a lot of our clients now come to us to finish off a project. So rather than having to make up the cushions and the throws themselves at their own curtain maker, they come to us and they can buy, you know, a huge variety of cushions and throws. And I always think that if you got a change in cushions, a change in throws, and beautiful flowers, you can change your whole room. So, you know, for us,
Yes, that's,
our accessories collection keeps growing. And I must say, we've just launched a website, in fact, yesterday, where we are
oh,
selling
okay.
accessories online. Initially only in the UK because it's a first step, and then it's going to be worldwide. And finally, on the evolving accessories collection, we are going to produce organic linen baby products for the home. It's not an extensive
Ah.
collection, but it's going to be for babies' rooms. So I'm quite excited about that as well.
Well, very stylish and lucky babies that
Uh,
are going to be living with starting their design lives with Della Cuona. And Bernie, to end our conversation, why do you think that that design and British design is worth it? You have a following around the world. Why do people look for good design and British design?
you know, I think made in England or made in Britain is still synonymous with quality wherever you go in the world. And I think, you know, it really is true. you can get beautifully crafted products made in England. So I think, yes, it's very much about quality. If you see a made in England stamp, you should know that you're going to get a quality product. And I hope this continues to grow.
Well, absolutely, especially when we have designers like you pushing, production to be done in a responsible and modern way.
Yes, I think so. I
Think,
think, people want something. It's international, really. Our products are really international, but our accessories are all made in England. And I think, that's given us the opportunity to manage the quality, to manage the makeup um, for all these years.
Mhm, mhm. Perfect. Well, Bernie, thank you so much for joining us today and for revealing so much of what makes Della Cuona such a special brand. It's been a pleasure to have you on Interiors Academy.
Thank you so much, Amelia. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. And as you can hear, I can go on and on about our industry forever. So thank you very much for the invitation.
Thank you, Bernie. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. Bye.